Week marks 1 year since the first COVID-19 death was reported here in Georgia. Since then, more than 15,000 people have died here in our state.
The loss is all that much harder on family and friends who've had to work around pandemic restrictions while planning small funerals and memorials to honor their loved ones. Tracy Amick-Peer talked to a mental expert who offered some tips to those struggling with their grief.
My heart, the pain in my chest, and I would just bend over and I would just be like, Lord, please just ease the pain.
6 weeks ago, Carmen Varnum lost her husband Washington to COVID-19.
My husband had a big personality, so he wanted a nice big home going.
But because of the pandemic, there were limits on the people who could even attend his funeral.
If it wasn't here, it would have been much huge than what it was, because so many people loved him and he knew so many people.
Dr. Suvrat Bhargave says Varnum's story is one he's heard often, with a loss like this during the pandemic taking trauma and grief to another level.
For some, it was that they couldn't be there with their loved ones when they were passing. For some, it is that they can't grieve now in the ways that they had always thought about and dreamt of.
He says being forced to hold a small funeral, like Varnum did, could leave families feeling dejected.
It feels like you're being let down, or you can't grieve, or you're letting your loved one down.
And says while grieving is different for everyone, there are some things that help.
This is the time to surround yourself with other people who can understand what you're going through, who are going through it along with you.
For Varnum, that means joining support groups on social media.
This one is the wives. They have lost husbands to COVID. And it kind of helps us know that we're going to be okay. We're going to, at some point, get over the hump.
And even if it's over Zoom, there are ways to get help.
If you find yourself stuck in any one emotion, that's when you really need to reach out for help, no matter what that emotion is.
I was getting like 2 hours of sleep. Then I started getting 4 hours. I had to go to seek counseling. I have a counselor that I talk to now.
Varnum says using technology to find some connection is helping her grieve the best way she can.
I've come to the reality that he's gone and he's in a better place.
Coming up at 6, some other tips Dr. Bhargave offers to help with your grief.